Adrix and Nev. We need 7 reasons to try out this dynamic and fabuloso duo of wizards. Alright, check out this lore drop. The pair grew up amid the mana-rich waters of the Pinzari Isles. There they were literally swimming in magic. From a very early age, Adrix and Nev began to see the patterns of the tides and currents that eluded even the most esteemed scholars of their society. One time they saved 100 lives by predicting a sudden arrival of a tsunami that came out of nowhere, just 100 people just hanging out on a beach. After that, any doubt of their prowess was washed away. They have received special permission to teach together at Strixhaven, blending the mastery of blue and green mana. They still constantly debate with each other, slap each other in the tether balls about various esoteric mathematical principles. At their core, they really care about their students. If any student is in danger, they will leap into action in perfect harmony. Look like a couple fancy fellas to me. And due to a very recent reprint, this once $30 card is just a couple bucks. These guys are a damn token doubler in the command zone with Ward 2. That's bonkers. It was bonkers in 2021 and it's bonkers today. 2 green and a blue for a legendary creature Merfolk Wizard. It's a 2/2, got Ward 2. If one or more tokens will be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. Yeah, reason number 2 here is twice that many. You got landfall synergies. It's pretty amazing just by itself. Say you have a card like Tireless Provisioner out there and you play a land. That's 2 treasures, man. Adrix and Nev create twice as many no matter what kind of token you make. Makes this little duo a mean landfall commander, and green has all that sweet land ramp. Scoot Swarms out there, you get exponential really fast. I know it's a 1/1, but 64 1/1s is still a pretty decent army. And reason number 3 to try Adrix and Nev is the interesting array of creature types that you get. It's a Merfolk Wizard. Wizards has some real synergy with this commander. And they are a wizard, Harry Potter. Look at the old docent here. When this transforms, it gives our commander +2/+1 in flying. You're making a bunch of tokens out there, man. If you make a bunch of tokens of your commander and they all have +2/+1 in flying, you're going to win. Cast 1 instant or sorcery and this guy flips. And of course, our old friend is a Merfolk. Merfolk are for hipsters, dude. We all know that. Do you want to be cool? You want to make a little swampy, little stinky Merfolk tokens? You want to make some Murlocs out there on the beaches sounding like Robert F. Kennedy Jr.? There are a bunch that make tokens like Master of the Waves, but more importantly, there are a lot of Merfolk that protect our commander. I just love this card, Sviloon of Sea and Sky. 1 blue for a legendary creature Merfolk god. It's a 3/4. Sviloon has indestructible as long as you control at least 2 other Merfolk. Whenever it attacks, draw a card. Other Merfolk you control have a Ward 1. There are also 6 or so lords that pump Merfolk. Not super impressive in and of itself, but both these strategies start to go off the rails when we start making copies. Remember that old Rob Schneider skit out there? Man, now he's peddling QAnon conspiracies on the internet. There are at this point several cards that create non-legendary tokens of legendary creatures, and that's our commander, dude. He's a legendary creature. We want to copy that with something like Irenicus Vile Duplication. 3 and a blue for a sorcery. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, except the token has flying and isn't legendary. So we make 2 token copies due to the first ability. That's interesting, but now we have this exponential effect. Say we use Cackling Counterpart to copy one of the non-legendary tokens of our commander. The ability triggers off the first, then the second, then the third, making a total of 8 additional copies of our commander. If we use any more copy effects, then we're basically doing math that we may need a quantum computer for. And that's where Martha Stewart comes in with the Quantum Misalignment. 4 and a blue for a sorcery. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, except it isn't legendary, has a rebound. If we untap and rebound this, we've got a lot of problems, dude, because that's Martha Stewart on there, and now she's 3 Martha Stewarts, and that's 3 too many. Can barely handle 1 Martha Stewart, you know what I'm saying, dude? Because she's too lovely and fly. Ever ask yourself what happened to Anton LaVey? Probably not, because that's a deep cut into old Satanism out of the 70s and 80s. You guys are too young for that. But anyways, he became the Bio-Visionary. 1 green and a blue for a creature, human wizard, it's a 2/3. At the beginning of the end step, if you control 4 or more creatures named Bio-Visionary, you win the game. Listen, this guy is 2 clone spells away with your commander on the field to win in the damn game. Any day you can pull off a Bio-Visionary win is a really good day for you, brother. And this is a picture of Anton LaVey. Alright, nobody? Okay, moving on. Reason number 6 you should try out this duo is the big splashy commander spells like Auton Soldier get even better. Myriad Creatures creates tokens, and if you have an instant speed token creator while the old Auton Soldier is copying your commander, then you have that same exponential effect. You also have the 37-cent called Caller of the Pack. It's an 8/6 with Trample and Myriad. Look at that art by Ryan Yee, dude. He knocked it out of the park. Very dope card, and your opponents will be facing a lot of power on this attack. And number 7 is you get to play your opponent's best stuff. In addition to token copy spells, there are cards like Elminster Simulacrum, 4 blue for an instant. For each opponent, you create a token that's a copy of up to one target creature that player controls. Look at Bytor and the Snow Dog, dude. They're getting ready for battle. If Adrix and Nev are out there, you make 2 copies of their best creature. Your opponents aren't playing garbage, brother. And listen, I gotta give another plug to Fairy Artisans. It's 3 and a blue for a creature, Fairy Artificer. It's a 2/2 with flying. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. Then exile all the other tokens created with Fairy Artisans. This card runs games, dude. I've used it in a couple recent Commander games, and believe it or not, it was the threat. I know, people hate what the value you generate, so it's gotta be good even though it's down to 90 cents. But you know what, we're going to keep the train rolling with reason number 8. It's budget friendly and pretty fun. I have a $70 deck list I'm going to link in the description, and guess what? It rips, dude. That Ward 2 makes Adrix and Nev pretty tough to take out. Yes, you'll face board wipes and removal, but you are generating pretty crazy value with the tokens you're making. There are so many cheap, effective creatures to clone, and many of those effects can target all the crazy stuff your opponents are doing. Like C-Double here, dude. This is a reason to play this deck because you get to play C-Double. 2 blue for an instant, spell can't be copied. Choose one. If an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, you may choose both. Copy target spell, you may choose new targets for the copy, or create a token that's a copy of target creature. Getting both modes may not happen every game, but 8 cards isn't terribly hard, happens in the course of most games. Copy one of your clone spells and clone something else, dude, come on. This card is an all-star and it's only 60 cents. You also have a Risen Reef, 1 blue and a green for a creature elemental, it's a 1/1. Whenever it or another elemental enters the battlefield under your control, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield tapped. That's great. If you don't put the card onto the battlefield, put it into your hand, so you're basically drawing a card or getting a land onto the battlefield. This guy can get really out of control, as the original sees both tokens enter if you copy it with Adrix and Nev out there. Then they see each other and themselves. That's 6 triggers for whatever you pumped with the token copy effect. This card is also a fantastic value piece in the 99 of any token-centered deck in these colors, or if your commander makes tokens. Crazy card, man, currently under $4. Come on, dude. And I know most of you are in your basement looking like the Croaking counterpart here, but this is a fun, fantastic card you can also use in this deck. Who cares if they're 1/1 green frogs, dude? It's still okay, you know? That still can be your girlfriend. Yeah, brother, check out my budget deck. It's filled with stuff like that. Croaking counterpart, cast this on a Llanowar Visionary, and you're ramping, you're drawing cards, you know, you're making all kinds of stuff happen. It's fun, dude. Just know that you're going to be a target, man, because this thing has a kill on sight sign right on its forehead. That's okay, because being the problem at the table is still part of the fun, dude. And that's Better Commander, brother, and that's it for me. Nikki G from Better Commander, signing off.